Hey riders, back again. Feeling good, getting back to normal. It's time for another ring-a-ding-dong-dandy. It's an old wrestling term, sportscaster here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. That was one of his famous lines. He used to drop all the time. All credit goes to Ed Whalen. Yeah, he was a newscaster and he did the Stampede Wrestling. And I think I've told some people that was kind of like in Western Canada, that's where all of the future WWF slash WEF stars got their kind of like training grounds put in. They all came from there. Like the amount of people that were there. So when I was a kid, it was filmed, I believe, on a Friday night at the Stampede Corral. Everything here is Stampede, Calgary Stampede, Stampede Wrestling. You get it, right? And it was shown on TV the next day. Like, we lived for it. So fake, so fun, loved it. Anyways, folks, here we are again. Team GRC, Sunday short race. It's March 31st, isn't it? Yeah, by the way, happy Easter to everyone. Yep, March 31st. 8:15 in the morning, 8:14 in the morning for me. We're going to be kicking off here in less than 1 minute. Here's our rider list. Start using this a lot more now. Here's Nelson. V. Canali. Rockets here. Steven Scotsman. Rebel 72. Good to see Rebel again. Mahutch. You know, I just had a quick peek at the course before. Just ride it by yourself. There's like 52 people online just riding it solo, and I saw quite a few names I recognize in that one. I was thinking about joining this, but here, let me just jump out of this here. Let's get out of this. Turn that off. Let's get ready for the rocket launch, because that's how racing is now. Let's... Ricky Bobby's here. Ricky Bobby's commented quite a few times on the YouTube channel Inside Cycling World. Please share with your friends. Hey, you know what I like to do a lot too is, look at these nice starts here. Nice 6-7 watt per kilo starts. Did I just see Jay Margolius here? I think I did. Here's Hardy. I expect Hardy to be right at the front. I just think I saw Nobby Styles as well. Yep, here's Nobby. Nobby Styles. A lot of these riders are GRC riders / our Discord friends. So most of the racing now, racing's kind of transitioned a little bit to more of the other platform style with more of the rocket starts. Hey, check this out. L. Rowland's here too. Awesome. I love seeing that, the progression of this, and I know most of the riders here, GRC friends, look at this, 7.5, 8 watts per kilo out of L. Rowland here. Pushing hard, right to the front. Mike NPL Cycling. HPL Cycling, sorry. Seen the name before, don't know a lot about them. We've also Karazanine here, P Triple J, seen that rider before as well. Mike Miller, Spin Jedi. This is the, what is he called on Facebook? It's like a coaching consultancy, sorry. Mine's all over the place right now, but I know who you are. Mahutch, Nelson Snyder, Jetro, yeah, here's Kraken. Rocking it out. Perfect race for Kraken. He loves the false flats. And this one is false flatty all the way. Essentially, folks, this is just flat all out. But outside of these little tiny dips, that are probably like over bridges and into like little crossing streams and stuff, you're just kind of climbing, 0.5%. Does this even qualify as false flat? I don't know. Not really sure, folks. I don't want to push it too far. Julian 05100, new rider to me. We got Rubu here. We're just going to quickly back up through here. Rebel 72, Steven Scotsman, he's back again. Awesome, Steven. Great to see you. This is the place to come. David 1951 again. Let's take a little look at the map. Sorry, folks, I was outside scrambling around trying to get the animals fed. We were out for Easter supper last night at the family's place in Calgary. Got, maybe a quarter of the way home. My wife realized she left her phone there, so let's go all the way back and all the way forward again to get to where we were. We were getting fuel in town there, in the next town up before we headed out into the country. By the time we got home, we were pretty wiped out. Roger's here. Let's jump on Roger. Red jersey, here's Roger, cranking along, pushing hard. Climbing 4 to 5 watts per kilo up this little kicker here. Again, nothing too hard for climbs. I can see Rebel 72 and David 1951 just ahead of Roger here. John B 1982 is here. Good to see John with Lance Legstrong. I love seeing all the familiar names. CJF Andel. Like, at all our races. Great to see him. I'm just guessing his name is Chris. Now here's a new name. Amropi 1970. Okay. We got Ronnie 27 here. Gidgar's here again. Awesome. Aha! 19 Steve 55. So when I first saw 19 Steve 55 is when he was having a pretty awesome battle with David 1951, I believe. It could have been on lava beds, maybe. It's quite a while ago now, trying to remember all this stuff. NorCal Rouleur. I love that word, but I also hate saying it. I kind of like to think I'm kind of a rouleur. Not really good at climbing. Not really a sprinter, but just do enough work for everyone else and try to smash it a little bit. Jay Shu, another new one. Honest Jack's here. Aha! Cycling Slapshot left a comment on Inside Cycling World channel. Cycling Slapshot, who are you again? I think he says he lurks in the Discord under a different name. Like most of us do, we all have different names across the platforms because you don't really think about it when you're setting up. Hey, Gio Merlin's here. Eat More Cake, Jay Margolius. So I know Jay had a little bit of a roll through this earlier because when I jumped into the route online, just to see who was online because I'm going to try to ride this later today, I saw Jay out there just having a little quick spinless, just warming up on the course. Why not? We got Dez here. Eckers is here as well. Kristen, the whole crew's here today. I should be out here. More on that. Fred Pimenta. Tojeski, looks like they're broken down. So, folks, looks like we got 49 riders who started the event today, which is like awesome turnout for this event on a Sunday when a lot of people in other parts of the world are already riding outside. Spin Jedi right at the front, just holding a nice 6 watts per kilo. Well, looks like, you know, probably a 68 kilogram rider. Something like that. A lot lighter than me. We've got L. Roland here too. In the past, I know L. Roland likes to go for a break. He's kind of the rider that likes to make a move at about a kilometer out. Just gutsy solo moves. Love seeing that. Yeah, Ricky Bobby again. Love the name. It's pretty hard to beat that name. Hardy's here. They're all here. Yeah, so folks, I was going to ride this. I was planning last weekend to ride this. I finally got back to riding this week. So I was telling the Discord group, in 18 days, it might have been 19 days actually, I rode 3 times. So, had my little dental visit. Rode 4 days later on the Thursday. Rode on the Friday. Got really fatigued. Was job hunting. Did a little bit of a side job for a couple days. The infection came back by the following Wednesday, Thursday. Put me down again. Put me on more medications. More stuff. Accepted a job offer, which I started last Tuesday. Thankfully, the drugs kicked in huge and got the swelling down. Although I'm still swollen. Like if you looked at me head on, you'd be like, yeah, side of your face is swollen. Feel a lot better though. So yeah, let me think about this. Yeah, my dental visit was March the 11th. So here we are, 20. Okay, so it's 20 days later. I think I've ridden 4 or 5 times in 20 days. Because I did get 2 rides in. I think I rode, let me think about this. I rode Thursday morning and I rode Saturday. So I finished off the Taiwan Flats, which was perfect for me. I know a lot of people kind of complained about that one. Boring. Yeah, sure, whatever. But it's a flat ride. What can you expect, right? You're just on the coastal areas, and it's not like super scenic either. It's like, here's some buildings, here's some bridges. But anyways, got through that. Probably going to do this one today. But, yeah. Instead of being able to ride, upwards of an hour at 3 watts per kilo, yeah, I'm probably doing 2.5 watts per kilo for an hour. 50 minutes, whatever those rides take. So yeah, Ricky Bobby leading the way here with Hardy, Mahutch, Mike HPL Cycling, L Roland, Kawarzanin, Spin Jedi's there, Nelson's there, P Triple J, Mike Miller. So we got a solid group of 10 right at the front. They are off the rip. 10 at the front here. Then we're going to bounce back, looks like approximately 500 meters to the next group, led by Nobby Styles. That's who I'm seeing here. So we got Nobby, Jetro, and Alex is here as well. Alex, full GRC, the chef himself. He is here. Working nicely. Yeah, Alex, huge improvements in cycling. Looking for some other GRC riders here. You know, in the Discord we always chat. So, like I said before, riders, if you're not part of a Discord group, just join one. I encourage you to join ours, Team GRC. There's a link at the top of my channel here, Inside Cycling World, that'll take you right to the Discord channel. Jump in. You do not have to talk. It's not a voice chat. It's set up that you can if you want. Like if you want to do an event with someone and you want to ride and chit chat, go for it. But it's just basically like a messaging board. It's just like a forum. There's always someone in there. You know, we've got members from Europe, UK, and then all of North America. So there's always someone around to just chill out with. Hey, what'd you get up to today? What are you planning for tomorrow? So I see a lot of chats in there. I know Alex has really improved his cycling this year. Yeah, we got a lot of strong riders in the GRC Discord group. Rubu. So where's Rubu? Rubu's in this 14th. So it looks like, we've got Jetro here in 11th with Alex, Nobby Styles. So it looks like we got a group of 3 here. We got 3. Then we're going to bounce back a further 60 meters to BJM 151. That seems familiar to me, BJM. Rocket 72. Awesome to see them out. Rubu is right here. Julian, looks like a new rider. Looks like there's about 5 or 6 riders here. They can just see, who is that up ahead? Oh, that's Nobby Styles just up ahead. I think I just saw Steven Scotsman here. Anthony's here. Yes, perfect. And for those, so again, talking about the Discord. So this is the stuff you learn in the Discord. Hey, here's Kraken too. Pavel's right here. Pavel's just fallen off the back a little bit, about 20 meters ahead of a group. So it looks like there's 3-4 riders coming up, which consists of Ronnie, David 1951, CGF Endel, and John B 1982. We've also got Lance Legstrong. I think I just saw Roger there too. Yep, Beast GP, new rider to me. Tamp 4X, I've seen this rider before. So there's quite a few riders coming up on Pavel right now, so they can all get together in a nice, juicy little group and start chasing after the others ahead. I'm going to jump back to Anthony here. I've seen Anthony race a lot. Ridden with him quite a bit now. Maybe not so much lately, and I got to get back out there, folks. Like, the struggle is real. Sorry, my mouse pointer was on the screen the whole time. And I apologize for being away so much this week. So my last video was last Sunday. And then Monday was like scurrying around getting ready for work. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the work, welcome aboard, read the HSE manual. This is what we do. This is what we don't do. The yard tour. Here's your laptop. Here's your phone. Here's your truck. Get after it type thing. So, been super busy. But the good thing is, I'm back on the bike. And with this new position, it is quite flexible. So I'm probably going to just keep riding in the mornings. Then head out of here, roll into the shop, see what's going on. Hook up with the contacts who I need to. And just kind of go on from there. Still have time to make videos. Just last week was really bad for it. But yeah, back to Anthony here from Toronto, Canada. Very supportive of my efforts on the channel. And it's kind of crazy. Anthony was sharing with us one day. He's only been riding road bikes for a year. 1 year, folks. So I think the story is he went on some trip to Europe, I believe. I think he said it was his brother-in-law. Maybe it was his brother. I think brother-in-law. And basically, hey man, let's go for a bike ride. And Anthony's like, well, I don't ride bikes. And next thing you know, they've got bike rentals, and he's out riding in Mallorca. Like, what a great first real kind of road bike experience. And yeah, so I think that was just last year, like 2023, I believe. Maybe it was 2022, I don't know, but like a year and a bit, tiny bit, maybe. Could be only a year at this point. And Anthony's, to me, just ballparking, probably a solid 3 watt per kilo rider all the time. A little bit lighter than me, so therefore is going to displace a little bit less power, but smart racer, good climber. So awesome to see Anthony here. And again, Alex here has made huge steps forward in cycling. I remember when Alex first jumped on the YouTube channel, and it's been hanging out a lot. One of the main members in the Discord, one of the main GRC riders. Let's get back to the front. So I just wanted to spotlight those 2 riders for a little bit there. I'm going to, once I get fully back into making my videos here, let's take a look at the front. Do we still have our 10? Do we have our 10? Has anyone been dropped yet? Looks like Mike Miller just got shelled out the back somehow. I'm positive we had 10 riders earlier. And Mike's riding, strong here. I'm not sure if they just fell off the back. Maybe they had disconnect. Hardy's still in there. It's great to see. Hardy's right there. Hardy's a level 57 rider. Hardy's from Germany. And Hardy is the initial creator of the GRC logo. The one that we kind of stuck with. So credit goes to Hardy on that. So M. Hutch here. Mahutch, as I call him. Seen this rider, maybe this rider was in our last GRC event, I'm not sure. Nelson Snyder, everyone knows Nelson. Spin Jedi, everyone should know Spin Jedi. L. Roland, and Ricky Bobby, right at the front. Not sure what jersey Ricky Bobby's wearing here. I'm not the jersey expert, that's for sure. Nelson taking a pull at the front here now. Nelson's super strong. Yeah, huge accomplishments on Rouvy. The virtual brevet / randonneuring series that he did. He just basically smashed it all out. From what I know, I think he did it all in 1 month. Which is pretty incredible. So if you're interested in doing something like that, check out Graham Love's virtual brevet series. You'll find it on Facebook. And he's got a really cool challenge series. There's all sorts of different challenges you can do. Like who can do the most 100K, 200K rides. But with the brevet series, you gotta, I think it starts at 160K, 100 miles. And then you gotta knock each one off. So 160K is the start. I think the next distance might be 200K. And then I think it's 300K, blah, 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 blah. And you end up doing, I think, 12 rides in total. I think that's what it is. And that might include your first 4 qualifiers, which are 60 and 80, 100 and 130. Yeah, I think so. I think you do your 60, 80, 100, 130, 160, 200. Yeah, and then there's probably about 7 more big rides to do in there to finish that huge series. Nelson banged it all out in January, I think. Just and the 12th ride is 1,200 kilometers. You have 96 hours to do it in any way you want. You could ride 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, an hour on, hour off, 8 hours on, 8 hours off. Yeah, quite the accomplishment. So really good to see Nelson here. He's been at quite a few of the GRC races. We've attracted some pretty stiff competition here. And, just with the numbers we've been carrying, I think we have 49 riders today. It's probably one of the bigger turnouts for Sunday, especially in the spring here. Saying that out loud, I'm looking at the profile on the bottom at the same time. I see one solo rider at the back. Stefan Schmidt's here. Obviously here, I know 100% Stefan started late. Very, very late. So let's hang out with Stefan for a little bit as the action goes on in the front. You can see here, I've watched Stefan weeks on weeks on weeks on end in the Tuesday Muckers and the Thursday Muckers Championship Series race. And really apologize again. I had to miss the final race in March. And I really wanted to be there for it, but yeah, I was stuck at work. And again, first few days, just testing my toes in the water. How do things work here? What do we do? You know, it's great when I hear my boss say, "Hey, man, you don't need to be here. You can just go out and do stuff. You don't need to come in at 7:30 like the mechanics do. Uh, just line up your day." So I'm hearing flexibility. So I'll be riding in the mornings, and for my Thursday races. And when I say my Thursday races, I mean the Muckers races. That's my race I cover. Uh, Huge turnout, very competitive in those races, like extremely competitive. And yeah, long story short, but Stefan's always there. And you can see from Stefan's riding here, yeah, 4 to 5 watts a kilo all the way here at the beginning, and he's 2 kilometers in, still pushing, big numbers. So great to see him here. Thanks for supporting us. You know, in all honesty, Stefan's probably going to catch a couple of these back markers here at the rate we're traveling. I did that yesterday, even though I felt like garbage. I think there was a rider. I did one of the Taiwan flats. I think they're both like 32K, less than 100 meters of climbing. And there's riders, no names mentioned. I don't even remember their names. It doesn't really matter anyways. They're doing their own thing. But they were like 5K ahead. I still managed to catch them, but I was just low power. Thankfully, I was on the Shiv, which I bought a while back. So yeah, my bike's quite fast on the flats. Tojeski, Fred Pimenta. We've got another group of, looks like 2 or 3 riders here. It's going to be Eckers, Dez, and JM and Maggie, who looks like has the profile of some strange critter. I want to think it looks like a ferret or something to me. Yeah. Tell us more, JM. Bouncing up here, we got Garrett, Geo Merlin. So I thought Geo Merlin's in the Discord with us. Yeah, he's like some kind of earth wizard. Yeah, I've got this great story in my head. Yeah, he's one with the earth, nature, ley lines and all kind of mystical stuff. Nah, it's just a soccer ball. By that, I mean football. I had to dig into it. I needed an origin story for that name. And it is I've checked out the picture of it. I asked Gio what his name was, and he goes, "Yeah, it's nothing special. It's just the name of a Nike soccer ball here for us North Americans." And I think it's just a ball that they use at professional levels in the UK. V. Canali, cruising just behind Eat More Cake and Kristen. Wonder if Kristen's riding her brand new bike inside. We had a discussion about that yesterday online too. People buying new bikes and stuff like that. Drop some comments. Do you ever ride your race bike or your good bike? I'm air quoting that, your good bike, whatever you want to consider that. Do you ride it inside on your trainer? I used to. Okay, when I first got back in, so I only got back into cycling in 2017. Rode bikes like a demon in the 80s and 90s. Went to university, still kept riding bikes, crashed a lot in the winter. On my original Rocky Mountain mountain bike, no suspension, back in the good old days. You're only crashing into, glare ice. Don't worry about the pavement, it's all good. Slow speed crashes, so it's not a big deal. And then I quit. Finished university, got a job, sucked all my life out of me, raised a family, sitting around, in my 40s, getting fat. I want to ride my bike again. Got a road bike. And in the winter, I did jump on, got a trainer, got on one of the indoor cycling apps. You know which one I'm talking about. It's not this one. And I did that for the winter on the road bike that I first bought. It was a Villiers. Which one was it? The Triestina, I believe. It was a pretty good bike. Like, it was all Ultegra. And it was one that was kind of like all specially painted. The brakes were painted. Everything was super cool on it. Then I got an aero bike. We got J-Shoe here. 19 Steve 55. Okay, no name rider. User. First name user. Last name 1364811. With the underscore in the middle. That's his middle name. Right there. User underscore blah, blah, blah. Okay, you got it. Tamp 4X Gidgar is riding with the man himself, Kraken. Here's Jay doing a bit of a solo ride today. Jay's just in one of those moons. He wants to ride along. It's all good. It's having fun there. Nice group here. We got Rebel, John, David 1951, Roger. Check this out. We got Lance here, CJF Andel. So good group of 6 or 7 riders there. Bouncing up again. Let's jump up to BJM, Julian, Steven. This is kind of a group I don't know a lot about. Okay, we got Rouvy here. Rouvy is in the Discord all the time. Oh, here's Anthony. Sorry. So the names are just changing so quick. So yeah, I know Rouvy. I know Anthony very well. BJM, I don't. Steven, seen him around a lot. Kind of disappeared for a bit, but now he's back. Arluzar here. See this rider all the time at the Muckers races. Ronnie 27, I don't know. This is going to be a nice little group here to watch at the finish. Bouncing up again to the Alex group. Okay, it happened. Yes. So Mike Miller, who I think got pushed out of that first group, the first group of 10. Yeah, because there was 10 riders at the front. Now the second group, you're seeing Alex on screen right now in 10th position. It's Alex, Mike Miller, Nobby, and Jetro. I thought there was one more. Yeah, okay, so those 3 were bridging up to Mike Miller. Okay, got it. You know, the Rouvy is only 200 meters behind here. So these 4 up front, Jetro, Nobby. Yeah, here's Nobby. I like watching Nobby because the numbers, I feel like I'm kind of watching myself. I know Nobby rides a lot. So on a good day, my numbers look like Nobby's. Okay, so now we're going to bounce up some more. Let's see this front group of 9. Again, Spin Jedi's here. L Rollin. How far? We're still 6 kilometers out. Everyone's just keeping an eye on each other here. So solid group of 9 riders at the front here. Hitting the first split. Sorry, second split. I find with a lot of these events, you'll see there's either one split dead center or 2 that are like a third and 2/3 through. In this case, yeah, maybe it's a bit further than that. Let's bounce back on Ricky Bobby. Looking sharp here. So, yeah, like, I mean, I think our numbers are great today. Looks like we got 50 riders. Hey, let's just check something out quickly. As much as I want to watch the front, I love watching these chases at the back here. And as I said, that Stefan just stopped pedaling quickly there. Just a minor adjustment on the saddle, if you know what I'm talking about. Look how strong Stefan is here. Stefan Schmidt just cranking up through the field, 4 to 5 watts per kilo all the way. Probably started this race, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes late. That's my guess. And is just reeling into Tojeski at this point. You know, that's going to happen here. The watts per kilo output is just so different between these 2 riders. Different strategies today, different styles of riding, different levels of ability. It could be a combination of all 3. We don't know. Different motivation factors today. But I like watching it anyways. So, like, in this position, if I was Stefan, I'd be like, ah, man, I missed my start time. Crap. You know, this is my story in my head. Or, like when I rode yesterday, I'm like, there's no one around me. There's no one to ride with. I'm sure I could have found someone in the Discord to go for a ride with me, but, you know, just do my own thing when I want to do it. Like, I'm going now. So I jumped on, and it's like, oh, the next rider's 4.5 kilometers up the road. 4.5 to 5 kilometers up the road. I did reel them in all the way, over 32 kilometers. So it gave me something to shoot for. So you can see the numbers just dropping here. I think at this rate, Stefan will catch Fred Pimenta as well. Fred has a almost 2.85 kilometer lead, but Stefan's riding very strong. So this is how I kind of ride on Rouvy. I do this a lot. I just join random events, random routes, and just kind of make a little game of it out of like, can I possibly catch someone? And I try to look at my pace, and I'm looking at the numbers, doing a little bit of mental math, trying to see how quick I'm bringing that gap down. I find it to be very motivating. I'm not like chasing that person per se. I'm just kind of like keeping my pace high enough. And if it just happens to work out that I do it, I do it. Hey, here's something else I want to talk about. So, like on yesterday's ride, I wasn't riding that strong, like 2.5 watts per kilo. I did see one of those riders I was talking about ahead of me, probably riding at like 1.9, 1.8, those kinds of numbers. So I'm not racing, I'm just doing my thing. How do you feel when someone kind of like pulls up beside you and kind of slows up a little bit to give you a wheel? Are you interested? Or does it bother you? I just kind of want to know what other people feel, because I'll tell you how I feel. I love it. If someone's out there and they want to lend me a hand, and it could be anything. Let's say I'm having a good day and I'm riding at 3 watts per kilo the entire way, and I see some superstar coming up behind me at 4, and I'll watch them. I'm always watching the leaderboard on the left-hand side. I'm watching what people are doing. I'm looking at their numbers. You can see I do it on here a lot. The beauty of watching an event, you can figure out what people weigh. It's kind of like a little check on people, if you get what I'm saying. It's pretty easy for me to find out if you've got your weight entered as 30 kilograms. Like, I can see it. I see your power. I see your watts per kilo. You have 2 out of the 3 numbers. You can figure out the third. Very simple to do. Yeah, I'm doing it on the fly in my brain. Sometimes I screw it up. But when you've got 30 kilograms entered, yeah, I see it. So maybe it's just a little double check for people to make sure your numbers are entered correctly into Rouvy, so that it kind of like makes it fair and square for everyone. But yeah, like if you're cruising along at 3.5 all the way, and then I see someone coming beside me, I see them let off to like maybe in the high 2s. I kind of get the feeling that they're like just letting off the power enough so that the momentum doesn't carry them too far past me, so that I can jump on their wheel. And guess what? I'll try to do it every time. If you're gonna like kind of, I'm air quoting again, screw up your ride to slow down a little. Oh, check this out. Looks like Mike's putting in a dig here. Mike's putting on a dig on this flat, on this little bit of a kick here. Look at this. False flatty, 2.7% here, folks. Mike has given it a kick at 2 kilometers out. Nice move, Mike. Look at this, 9 watts per kilo up this kick here. Ricky Bobby's trying to hang on. L. Roland's right there. Kowarzanin. Everyone's racking. But look at this. Nelson's been bumped back a good 10, 12 meters. Spin Jedi, Mahutch, and Hardy. Hardy is just slipping off the back. Hardy's got to hold on for dear life here. Get over the top. And just hopefully has got something in reserve to kick and get back on. Otherwise, he's going to find himself isolated. So we had 9. That little roller there, that was like a 2.7%. Perfect move by Mike, HPL Cycling. I don't know enough about Mike. Anyone knows him, or Mike, if you hear this, drop some stuff about yourself in the comments. Love to know more about you. I've seen your name before. Okay, so it's all come back together now. So we still have, we got 8 riders back together, but that attack by Mike did some damage to the other competitors. Kind of caught them sleeping, but did Mike push a little bit too hard there? We're not sure. So let's keep a good eye on this. I'm going to be watching for L. Roland here now too. L. Roland, I've seen them do it a couple times in the past, going on like full attacks from a kilometer out. Might have been a bit of neutralization of his attacks just by what Mike HPL Cycling pulled off there. But look who's at the front now, Nelson Snyder. 7 watts per kilo, keeping the pace incredibly high. So high that it's going to kind of neutralize everyone else's attacks. Nelson's off the front, 6 meters, 5 meters. L. Roland's going with him though. L. Roland's going over the top. L. Roland, yep. Just with momentum there, just past Nelson, and now is just lightly backed off. Here comes Kowarzin again. Mike is there, Ricky Bobby's there, P Triple J and M Hutch. Everyone's here, folks. We still got 8. There's been some deadly attacks put in here. We're 300 meters to go. Who's going next? Ricky Bobby. Ricky Bobby, 6 watts per kilo, rolling to the front. Mike's going again. Mike is putting in another dig. 8 to 9 watts per kilo. And Mike is going to get first place here, folks, with Nelson Snyder coming in second, El Roll in third. Wow, that came quick. That came so fast. Those 8 riders probably finished within no more than 1.5 seconds of each other, maybe 2 seconds. Sorry, folks, I didn't do a full recon there, so I wasn't sure exactly where the finish was. Hardy was right there. I'm sure he was changing his music over. That's what catches people. So here's the finish again. So I'm gonna try to remember this finish here better. We got the barriers coming up. Okay. Oh, Easter bunnies too. I just noticed the Easter bunnies. Awesome. Hardy's gonna finish solo for 9th. Excellent job, Hardy. Way to represent. So then we've got Jetro, Mike Miller, and Alex. There's been some action here. These 3 were once together. It looks like Jetro's done a little bit of an attack here. Alex and Mike chasing right now. I am going to back up a bit more. Ronnie, Rubu. So the same things happened to these groups behind us. This little kick that's probably at, right around kilometer 23. You can see we're looking at Beast GP here. This kick right here has smashed a lot of people apart. Yeah, right here where Rocket 72 is, Arluzar, Julian. Where's Anthony here? Anthony is with Steven. Just ahead of Steven. Oh, Anthony's with Nobby Styles. Great place to be. We've got... okay, so let me just jump back again here. Yeah, so you can see at that kilometer 23, there's lots of attacks going in there because with these flatter courses and the drafting, you got to take any of those little kickers and use them to your advantage. Attack then. The draft is so good now. It's a lot improved, I would say. And again, I've said in another video, I'm sure it's going to be tweaked and dialed down a little bit, depending on feedback. I don't think it's any, to be honest, I think it's a lot better than one of the other platforms where 2,000 people will draft along perfectly in a group. I get it. There's no crashing, but it just seems weird to me. It's not that easy. Okay, so coming into the final stretch here, 300 meters to go. Alex is off the front. Going solo, 6 watts per kilo has just opened up a small gap to Jetro. Can they pull him back? It looks like they might be able to. Jetro's coming back, going over the top of Alex here. At 8 watts per kilo, Alex is holding on for 11th position. Mike Miller is going to be finishing 12th. Okay, let's get back here again. Ronnie coming in for 13th. Rubu, 14th, just ahead of Anthony. Anthony is holding off Nobby Styles, who's just only 30 meters back at this point. Steven Scotsman will be snagging 17th position today. And then we're going to jump back a little bit here to Beast GP, who has about a 100-meter lead over Arluzar. So I think it was Beast before who made one of those smart moves. I didn't see it go down, but when I jumped to them, I saw the field was breaking up there. All those groups were that were right side by side were then 10 and 15 and 20 and 30 meter gaps. Because of that little section right about here, this is where it kind of starts. Let's take a look here and see what happens with these riders. Okay, yeah, let me just jump back here quickly. Sorry. So who's coming in right now? Well, we've got some sprint finishes coming up, so I better watch this. But yeah, it's around that 22 to 23 kilometer arc. We got Lance Legstrong, Rebel 72 going at it. Hammer and Tong, toe-to-toe. Rebel dropping 12 watts per kilo, just pulling away. Pulling away from Lance. Great job, riders. CGF Andel finishing. Roger coming in. John B, 1982. Everyone's just rolling in. Jay Margolius here finishing very strong, 6 watts per kilo. So Jay will be finishing solo. They rode solo all day today, it looks like. Bouncing back a kilometer. I'd like to see what's going on back here. So it looks like Tchaikovsky decided to pack it in today. Check this out, though. I said this was going to happen. Stefan, couldn't find his cycling shorts. Passing Fred Pimenta as we speak. Couldn't find his cycling shorts. Was in a panic. Thought about wearing his Speedo. that he likes to go to Ibiza in. Uh, just a joke, but maybe not. We're not sure. Then he found his cycling shorts, but it took him 5 minutes. Got his stuff on, got his shoes on, jumped on. And you know what? Riding solo missed all the action in the race because Stefan would have been way at the front here, but is probably getting a really good training right here, hunting these riders down. So I like to always say that when you see someone coming up fast behind you, use that as a training tool. Stefan can use it to kind of like, can I possibly bring this person back? And the person that's up there is doing something totally different. Can I possibly stay away? They're quite big gaps. 5 kilometers is over 3 miles. So it's pretty cool to see it slowly come down. So great job, Stefan. Eckers is here. Not that far behind Jam Meggy, Des Dyer, Gio Merlin, rolling along like a soccer ball down the road. Garrett THV. Okay, I see Kristen here. Well, Kristen's a nice little group with Honest Jack and Eat More Cake. I think these three are generally, they like to ride a lot together. I always see them kind of riding. And we've also got NorCal Rouleur here. Rouleur, I think is how you say it. Very hard to say. 19 Steve 55. Let's get right back to the front here. See who's coming in. 32nd place. Actually, what's going to be cool to see here, I think I see a nice group here. I want to see exactly where people are getting smashed apart. So it looks like Kristen, Honest Jack, NorCal, Eat More Cake will be coming up to it. It looks like it's just up ahead down the road. Not that far, where there's a kick. So, we're at 2% now. We're going to go down a little bit, and then you can just see the slightest bit of orange, and that's where all the other riders ahead were attacking before. That front group of 9, that's where it went off. So, yeah, again, is Kristen on her brand new bike inside? I don't do that. So, I had my first bike. It became my training bike. Then I shelled out some big cash and got pretty fancy, Di2 aero bike, blah, blah, blah. 2 rims that were so expensive. They're awesome, but really, I'm not really sure if it's worth it. I love it, but I don't ride it inside. I have my cyclocross bike, aluminum, junk wheels. It doesn't matter. I don't use my best pedals inside. I use whatever I can find. Kristen on the attack here. See, this is what you got to do here. This is how you do it. She's attacking on the small kick, this false flatty, 3% stuff. It's dropped down a little bit here. Maybe it's going to kick up again. And now she's putting a gap into the other riders. You can see it happening. NorCal just slipping off the back. Although I just saw, it's cycling slapshot coming up, moving hot fast. Honest Jack and Eat More Cake have just been distanced from Kristen. Although Eat More Cake looks like he's just hanging on, digging in now, trying to catch Kristen. Okay, yep. So that's where everyone was attacking today. It was that point, that little stretch. But back up again. V Canali here, is right, right in the middle of that attack point. Just, 22.5 kilometers, something like that. Des and Jam Meggy riding together here. So let's get back up front. Got Jay Shu coming into the finish. Solo. 35th position. Awesome job. Then we got Amro Pie, 1970. Cruising right along, 36th place. Kristen is in 37th with a 5-meter gap. Watch out, folks. We got a little bit of a war going on here. We've got Kristen and Eat More Cake going in to the final kilometer. Honest Jack is only 20 meters back, but he's going to have to try to bridge up now. NorCal, I think, was right with this group. And that attack that Kristen put in on that little kicker, false flat kick, kind of pushed NorCal out the back. And NorCal now has got about a 500. Oh, check this out. Honest Jack coming right through. Not messing around. Attacking on the bit of the downhill. Might catch Eat More Cake out here. So Honest Jack is up front with Kristen. And Eat More Cake, okay, is reacting now. Only 8 meters back. I see Cycling Slapshot coming up quick here. So these three are all back together now. We're back even Steven now. All even Steven. Eat More Cake going back to the front. Ooh, I just noticed there too. Eat More Cake is a level 81 rider. Great job. Everyone here is riding lots, so I see these riders all the time. I better check my level today. I'm not even sure what it is. I think I'm close to 70. Maybe. Don't know. Something I don't really pay attention to anymore. Okay, so we are 200 meters to go. So we come around this bend, and you're going to see the banners with the Easter bunnies on the right-hand side right away. Kristen's trying to go hard right now. 4 watts per kilo. Here comes Eat More Cake. Probably a lot bigger absolute power numbers, I would believe. 5 watts per kilo. Kristen is fighting back, holding her position, almost 6 watts per kilo. We had Kristen, Eat More Cake, and Honest Jack finish within probably half a second of each other there. I thought our Welsh rider was going to get over the top there, but Kristen battled back. 6 watts per kilo. I think, big numbers for Kristen there. Definitely. Great job. She's on a new bike, folks, but that wasn't bike. That was lungs and leg power. V. Canali, seen this rider quite a bit too. Coming to the finish in 42nd place. So folks, we're going to do our usual thing here because I want to get this uploaded. I've got some stuff to do today here. I've got a ride to put on as well. I do have a couple more videos I'm working on. And by say working on, I'll be honest. They've been sitting waiting on my capture card. I've done some editing. These videos are from like October of last year. I just haven't done them yet. But I think they're really cool. Some great routes that you should definitely check out on Rouvy. I will say both these routes, the only place you're going to find them, well, I don't want to say the only because I don't know every platform perfectly, but the big platform doesn't have them. Like, you know what I'm talking about. The biggest platform does not have these routes. So if you just like riding circles on the same roads over and over, hey, there's a perfect option out there for you. If you like exploring new roads, going new places, listening to stupid stories about stupid things that I like to do, this is the place for you. Inside Cycling World. Garrett finishing here. Geo Merlin, again, like I said, rolling along. I think Geo and Dez were together for a little bit there. So Tajeski did shut down back here. I was going to say hopefully it was a disconnect, but hopefully it wasn't. But then again, hopefully it was. I don't like seeing people quit or have problems out there, but they've disconnected somehow. So hopefully we see Tajeski again. Looks like Tajeski does ride quite a bit. They're level 53. We've got Fred Pimenta, who also rides a lot, level 59 rider. And here's Stefan Schmidt again, just rolling along at that consistent 4.5 watts per kilo all the way. Like, here's Stefan finishing 48th out of 50, well, 48 out of 49, with a very, very strong ride. And so Stefan made this, hey, I showed up late for the race event, into a really nice high-intensity training workout. So, great for Stefan here. Eckers is 1.4 kilometers up the road. With only... Stefan's got 3 to go, 3.2 to go. So, when I'm doing stuff like this, so if I was Stefan here, I'd be like, oh, wow, there's someone up the road 1.3 kilometers ahead of me. And then I get excited because I'm just cruising along. Again, cruisy, different terminology that we like to use here. And I can see the distance dropping to the rider ahead of me. I start thinking, ooh, yeah, this is fun. Like, look at Stefan here. 5 watts per kilo. Getting into this steeper false flatty stuff. But then I look at the bottom of the screen and I go, ugh, but there's only 2.77 kilometers to the finish. So I don't think Stefan will catch the rider ahead, Eckers, at this point. I mean, you never know. It just depends what the rider in front does too, right? Because again, everyone's just kind of doing their own thing out here. You don't know what someone's doing. You don't know if they're on a recovery ride because the day before they just did a 300-kilometer ride inside. Let's just bounce up to Des here. Wow, I did not know this. Des is a level 83 rider. Holy crap. How did I not know that? Am I seeing that right? Yeah, level 83 rider. Oh, my. Yeah, Des puts some time into the saddle here, that's for sure. Des, 400 meters out, coming to the finish. And JM Meggy is only 160 meters back. Yeah, so what is this little critter here? What is this? It's probably off some flag or something, and I just don't know what it is. But yeah, it looks like a little ferret to me. And when I say ferret, I mean a vicious animal. And when I say ferret, I mean like a weasel-type critter. A carnivore. Okay, Des coming in here, 45th position. Awesome job. There go the Easter bunnies. Let's have another look. Just look right where you see the banners up ahead. You're going to see Easter bunnies and Easter eggs. How much Easter chocolate did you guys eat? I ate so much yesterday. Like, just... Oh, they're also on the left side there too. There's Easter bunnies right here. Yeah, handfuls and handfuls of those coated Cadbury eggs. And then for Easter dinner, good job for JM. For Easter dinner, full spread, Easter dinner, whatever you like to have. Then afterwards we had a Black Forest cake. We also had a chocolate pie. And when I was out on Thursday at work, I stopped at the Cheesecake Factory here, the Cheesecake Cafe, and picked up a Cadbury's Easter egg cheesecake. So you could imagine how bad that was. It was this huge, thick cheesecake, and on top it had the full-sized Cadbury Easter eggs cut in half all around the edges. Like, I don't need to eat for the rest of the day after having one piece of that pie, of that cheesecake. Eckers coming in nicely. Great job, Eckers. 47th position. Great workout. Finishing strong, too. And here's our friend Stefan. Yeah, just riding so strong here. Just watching those meters go down. This is where I always like to do a nice push at the end, too. I kind of push, and then maybe the last 100 meters I just shut her right down. How long can I hold a certain amount of power at the end? And I usually don't do it right to the finish line because generally I'm by myself anyways. And then, so Stefan's going to finish nicely. I'd love to hear from Stefan how strong of a ride this was for them. Like what kind of numbers were they pushing? What kind of effort? And why he was 5 minutes late for the Team GRC Sunday Short Race. Come on, Stefan. Set your alarm clock. Well, I think it's the afternoon for Stefan, so let's give him the benefit of the doubt here. He was up. It's probably outside. It's probably spring, so awesome that he joined us today. Stefan, 48th place. I'm sure Stefan would have been probably in that top 10 group riding that pace if he'd been here. And lastly, but definitely not the least, we got Fred Pimenta here. Fred rides a lot. Maybe just first time seeing the GRC events. So we have them every Sunday. There's been a lot of discussion lately, and I know everyone's thinking about going outside. I'm not really much of an outside rider. And I think a lot of people feel that way. We've known too many people that have had close calls, been hit and worse, to get my drift. Because I know, yeah, a lot of us know people that have been hurt and more riding their bikes outside. So I like to stick inside. I like to see new places like this. Probably never going to get to ride this road in Germany, so why not just do it on Rouvy? So yeah, we're talking about getting a Saturday Team GRC ride going. More of like a group ride. Probably longer events. I know a couple of the riders have been mentioning, hey, do you do longer races? And we're not really sure if we're going to do a longer race yet, because we don't want people finishing 45 minutes to an hour ahead of the back ones, because we get quite a big, diverse group of people. Want to keep it somewhat close so everyone can feel like they're in it. And it's been working so far. I mean, I think the proof is in the pudding. The Sunday short races are getting pretty popular, even with kind of the numbers dropping a little bit through the spring here. The first bit of sunshine for some people, they want to get out. Just wait till the spring rains come. Also here, so we've had crazy weather. We had a huge storm last week. Huge. And then it's been okay lately. It's been nice, above zero. It's going to be 19 degrees Celsius on Tuesday. And then Thursday, Friday, we're getting another 25 centimeters of snow. Welcome to my world of life along the Rockies in Canada. It's like this every year. People forget this. It's the same story every year. People are like, oh, we got no snow this year. I'm like, just wait, it's coming. People like to forget past weather patterns. I know people are talking here, we got no snow this winter. So I'm like, oh, did we? So I jumped online. Calgary itself is within 1 millimeter of precipitation, which is 1 centimeter of snow of last year. Very, very close to averages. We've had snow. We've had winters that we've had double the snow. We've had winters where we've had a quarter of this much snow. It's just whatever it is. This year we're probably going to be above average now with this snowfall blowing in on April 4th or something. What is it going to be? And we get snow into May here. So plenty of snow coming, plenty of moisture, I hope, for the ground, which is in a bit of a drought right now. So we're just going to call it quits here, folks. Looks like Fred's just adjusting his cleats here, had his shoes strapped in a little bit too tight. I do this quite a bit. You find out your feet are falling asleep as you're riding. And I'm going to get this uploaded right away, and we'll catch you again real soon. Thanks for supporting Inside Cycling World.